Tuesday, the 6th of June. I'm Stephen Ridgway. So, understanding who might be targeting you is a step in the right direction for building defense strategies against that. So, I was interested to read on the Malwarebytes website. They've done some research into who has been attacking UK and US education organizations. And it turns out it's Vice Society. So by quite a big percentage, they are more prolific in attacks than Lockbit or Lion or Royal or other forms of ransomware. So once you understand that stuff, it's possible to do a little research into the tactics and procedures that these organizations use and build some defense or at least some visibility strategies around that. So if you're supporting education establishments in the UK or US, although we have, I'm sure, fewer US listeners, then it definitely worth having a read of this article, and definitely worth looking to pull out some indicators of attack, indicators of compromise for your organization. So the Atomic Wallet has been hit by a $35 million theft in a recent crypto breach. Atomic Wallet, one of many cryptocurrency wallets, apparently holds all sorts of different cryptocurrencies, bitcoins, ethers, tethers, dogecoins, litecoins, BNB coins, polygons, you name it. There has been a compromise of approximately 1% of Atomic Wallet's monthly active users. However, that does result in quite a large amount of money, or a large amount of value in cryptocurrency that has been stolen. There are some attempts being made to trace this money. However, if you use that particular wallet and you feel you may have been the victim of this crime, there is a link to a form where you can provide Atomic Wallet with information to aid with the inquiry and hopefully trace some, if not all, of the lost funds. So let me see, it must have been last week. We spoke briefly about the MOVEit 0-day exploitation. The first victims, I think, were first came to light on around the 4th of June. It is now very prolific. The attacks are ramping up quite noticeably. It is absolutely, if you're using MOVEit, it is absolutely vital that you apply the patches that have been made available, and definitely worth adding into your SIEM or your security visibility tooling the indicators of compromise. Some very large organizations have been hit by this, including British Airways and the BBC. So yeah, definitely one where the recommendation is, don't ignore this one, don't push this one back to your next monthly patch cycle, whatever it may be. This one needs emergency addressing in an emergency way. If you are using that particular service, making sure that you are on top of what's going on there. Yet more malicious extensions have been found in the Chrome Web Store. An article from Avast, which was reported in Security Week, has identified 32 malicious extensions, a total of 75 million combined installs. Strongly recommend that you have a look at those extensions. If they have been removed from the Chrome store, but I'm not entirely sure that Chrome will actively remove them if you've installed them. So yep, definitely worth having a look if you're using any of the identified malicious extensions. It is worth removing them. Some of the more popular ones: Auto Skip for YouTube, Sound Boost, Crystal Ad Block, Brisk VPN have been, well, yes, they're some of the more popular ones that have been identified. They tend to contain obfuscated code that injects JavaScript into websites. Not sure whether they are all, whether they're information grabbers, probably also looking to execute advert fraud, advert clicks, that sort of stuff. But yeah, definitely have a look, remove them if you've got them. So we also mentioned recently that Gigabyte has been Gigabyte being the manufacturer of motherboards, graphic cards, and so on and so forth. There is a backdoor into via the BIOS on a lot of Gigabyte systems. We spoke about this a few days ago. Gigabyte have now released a BIOS update, which increases the security. So we'll post a link to an article that refers out to what you need to do. But if you're using Gigabyte motherboards, Gigabyte graphics cards, or whatever in any of your systems, definitely have a look for whether the BIOS update is applicable to you or not. Yes, appreciate BIOS updates en masse is not always easy to execute, but equally there are times when you've just got to bite the bullet and get on with it. So well done for Gigabyte for picking up on that one and dealing with it quickly. Just thought I'd bring it to your attention in case you weren't aware that the patches or the new BIOS update is available. And finally, they've got round to it and fixed it. KeePass has addressed the CVE 2023 32784 bug that allowed the extraction of clear text master passwords from the memory of a client running KeePass. So KeePass is, as you know, I'm sure you're aware, open source, free password manager tool. Sadly did have a bug in it, which did allow the master password to be extracted. That's now been addressed. So just checking through the article, the version to aim for is KeePass version 2.54, which addresses this vulnerability head on. If you can't install the upgrade, the recommendations are to change the master password, delete the hibernation file, delete the page and the swap file, overwrite the deleted data on the hard drive to prevent carving, and restart the computer. Or alternatively, I love this. Or alternatively, just overwrite the hard disk and do a fresh install of the OS. And on that note, I shall leave you. I hope you all have a good Tuesday, and I shall speak to you again tomorrow morning.